Chapter 2. Bet You Didn't Know.
10 true or false sample test questions follow. The correct answer to these 10 questions will be found in the current chapter material. It is suggested pausing the audio to read these sample test questions. Continue the audio after completing your review.
Bet you didn't know. Does Delaware law require all pedestrian crosswalks to be marked? The answer, no. Title 21, Chapter 41, Rules of the Road. Subchapter 5, Pedestrians' Rights and Duties. Section 4142, Pedestrians' Right-of-Way and Crosswalks. When traffic-controlled signals are not in place or not in operation, or when the operator of a vehicle is making a turn at an intersection, the driver of a vehicle shall yield the right-of-way, slowing down or stopping, if need be, to so yield, to a pedestrian crossing the roadway within a crosswalk when the pedestrian is upon the half of the roadway upon which the vehicle is traveling, or when the pedestrian is approaching so closely from the opposite half of the roadway as to be in danger. Section 4143. Crossing at other than crosswalks. Every pedestrian crossing a roadway at any point other than within a marked crosswalk or within an unmarked crosswalk at an intersection shall yield the right-of-way to all vehicles upon the roadway. Believe it, according to Delaware law, Section 4143, crossing at other than crosswalks, every intersection is considered to contain crosswalks, whether or not the crosswalks are identified with line markings. Read the law again. Read it carefully. Every pedestrian crossing a roadway at any point other than within a marked crosswalk or within an unmarked crosswalk at an intersection. So the correct answer is no. Delaware law does not require a pedestrian crosswalk to be marked if it is located in an intersection. Bet you didn't know. Does Delaware law require pedestrians to walk facing opposite direction traffic when walking in the street? Answer, yes. Bet they didn't know. See pictures 2-3 and 2-4 below. Title 21, Chapter 41, Rules of the Road. Subchapter 5, Pedestrians' Rights and Duties. Section 4146, Pedestrians on Highways Penalty. A. Where a sidewalk is provided and is accessible, it shall be unlawful for any pedestrian to walk along and upon an adjacent roadway. B. Where a sidewalk is not available, any pedestrian walking along and upon a highway shall walk facing traffic only on a shoulder, as far as practicable, from the edge of the roadway. C. Where neither a sidewalk nor a shoulder is available, any pedestrian walking along and upon a highway shall walk as near as practicable to an outside edge of the roadway and shall walk facing traffic. E. This section shall not require that pedestrians on one-way roadways of controlled access highways walk facing traffic to the nearest emergency reporting device. F. Whoever violates this section shall for the first offense be fined not less than $10, no more than $28.75. For each subsequent like offense, the person shall be fined not less than $25, nor more than $50. Bet you didn't know. Who yields, left-turning traffic or right-turning traffic? The answer, if you answered both left-turning traffic and right-turning traffic yield, you are 100% correct. However, the real dilemma is when does left-turning traffic yield and when does right-turning traffic yield? The answer to when left and when right should be simple, but unfortunately, due to inconsistencies in Delaware intersection designs, motorists traveling Delaware roadways can be confused. While this topic, inconsistencies, will be discussed in greater detail in upcoming chapters utilizing the gift of life principles of smart defense, here is a little help for now.
Left-turning traffic yields. A left turn when traveling on a two-way road and a left turn on a green traffic signal, pictures 2-6, 7, and 8 below, are all examples of left-turning traffic yields. The left turn yield has been a driving requirement for decades.
Right-turning traffic yields. Right-turning traffic in a designated right turn lane containing a yield sign when the right turn lane is separated from straight traffic by a raised and/or painted traffic island. See arrows below. Please note the above picture 2-9 contains a yield sign, yellow and black arrow, number 1, where the right turn lane is separated from the straight traffic by a raised traffic island, yellow and black arrow, number 2. This intersection design, where the traffic signal no longer controls right-turning traffic, is an example of how the switch occurred, causing right-turning traffic to at times become the yielding traffic. Bet you didn't know. Exactly what is the yield sign intending to mean in the picture 2-9 above? If your answer is yield, that is not a complete answer. The answer, when a yield sign is placed in a right turn lane separated from straight traffic by a painted or raised traffic island, yellow and black arrow number 2 above, it is intended to mean that right-turning traffic does not have an adequate acceleration lane and will be required to make one of the following 3 choices. Choice number 1, stop until clear to merge. Choice number 2, adjust to a safe merging speed. Choice number 3, continue and merge at current speed. Please note the word intending was purposely used due to the D-Team's previous acknowledgement of inconsistencies of Delaware roadway designs.
The above is only an introduction to right turn yields.
This topic will be discussed in greater detail in upcoming chapters utilizing the gift of life principles of smart defense. Bet you didn't know. A single solid white line is identified in Delaware law as meaning what? The answer, Delaware law does not have any identification of the meaning of a solid white line. In fact, Delaware law does not identify the meaning of any pavement line markings, be it yellow or white. The D-Team will turn to the previously mentioned MUT-CD for the answer to the meaning of a single solid white line, since there is no Delaware law that addresses pavement line markings. According to the MUT-CD, a single solid white line discourages crossing. The MUT-CD goes on to state a double solid white line prohibits crossing. Important. The D-Team is not encouraging any motorist to cross a single solid white line. However, the D-Team is identifying there is no Delaware law to prohibit such an act. The Delaware Driver's Manual does identify pavement line markings. This manual is not Delaware law and is not always accurate. Caution should be used. Additional caution. Even though DelDOT claims the MUT-CD as the authority they follow, unfortunately inconsistencies in the use of pavement line markings in Delaware are present, thus leading to potential confusion.
Please take a few moments to review DelDOT's Concord Pike intersection line markings pictured in 2-10 and 2-11 below.
Bet you didn't notice. Why are there single broken white lines and a single solid white line approaching 2 separate traffic light controlled intersections on the Concord Pike in Wilmington, Delaware? See picture 2-10 and picture 2-11 above. Bet you didn't pay any attention to the inconsistencies. The D-Team believes the following formula exists. 1. Inconsistencies increase the odds for confusion. 2. Confusion increases the odds for collisions.
3. Collisions increase the odds for becoming a statistic. Picture 2-12 below.
Therefore, it is a goal of the D-Team to lessen the inconsistencies and confusion on Delaware roadways through identification and education. Important. Immediately below you will find a statement taken directly from the MUT-CD emphasizing the gift of life safety importance of the accurate understanding of pavement line markings. MUT-CD. Learn about pavement markings. Pavement markings are a very important part of the communication system for road users along our nation's highways and roads. Can you imagine traveling on a freeway, major highway, or city street without the information that pavement markings provide? Pavement markings help you correctly position your vehicle, guide you through the many different situations you encounter, indicate where passing is allowed, and warn you of upcoming conditions. In many cases, pavement markings supplement and enhance the messages of other traffic control devices, such as traffic signs and signals. Sometimes pavement markings are the only effective way of providing positive guidance or communicating certain regulations or other messages. Because markings are located on the roadway directly in line with the traveled path, they can be more prominently visible than other devices, and you don't have to take your eyes off the road to view them. Pavement markings communicate their messages to you through a uniform system of colors, patterns, widths, symbols, and words. Uniformity of these features throughout the nation, as required by the MUTCD, makes it possible for you to instantly recognize the meaning of the markings in any given situation and quickly react to them, enabling you to travel safely and efficiently along the roadway. Bet you didn't know.
What are the legal stopping points at a stop sign controlled intersection, such as in picture 2-13 below?
The answer? Title 21, Motor Vehicles Operation and Equipment, Chapter 41, Rules of the Road. Subchapter 7, Special Stops Required. Section 4164, Stop Signs and Yield Signs. 1. Except when directed to proceed by police officer or traffic control devices, every driver of a vehicle approaching a stop intersection indicated by a stop sign shall stop at a marked stop line. But if none, before entering the crosswalk on the near side of the intersection, or if none, then at the point nearest the intersecting roadway where the driver has a view of approaching traffic on the intersecting roadway before entering the intersection. Please note, Delaware law does not identify the stop sign location as a required stopping point. However, it does identify the presence of a stop sign as requiring a full stop at one of the 3 stopping points in a specific order. See picture 2-13 above. 1. The marked stop line. 2. But if none, before entering the crosswalk on the near side of the intersection. And 3. Or if none, then at the point nearest the intersecting roadway where the driver has a view of approaching traffic on the intersecting roadway before entering the intersection. Special Alert Number 1. Smart Defense by the D-Team identifies while only one stop is required by Delaware law at a stop sign intersection, there are times when traffic will require a second stop due to line-of-sight problems at the original stopping point. Special Alert Number 2. Smart Defense by the D-Team suggests when there is no stop line and or a crosswalk present in a stop sign controlled intersection, the final stopping point should not be before reaching the stop sign location. Bet you didn't know. What are the minimum parking distances identified in Delaware law? Below you will find some of the more relevant minimum parking distance identified in Delaware law. The answer. Title 21, Chapter 41, Rules of the Road. Section 4179, Stopping, Standing, or Parking. E. No person shall stop, stand, or park a vehicle except when necessary to avoid conflict with other traffic or in compliance with the directions of a police officer or traffic control device, including all state-owned and or state-leased property in any of the following places. 1. On a sidewalk. 2. In front of a public or private driveway. 3. Within an intersection. 4. Within 15 feet of a fire hydrant. 5. On a crosswalk. 6. Within 20 feet of a crosswalk. 7. Within 30 feet upon the approach to any flashing beacon, stop sign, or traffic control signal. 9. Within 50 feet of the nearest rail or railroad crossing unless a different length is indicated by traffic control devices. 17. Wherever a curb is marked yellow or a yellow line is placed at the edge of a roadway or shoulder. Bet you didn't know. When is it illegal to use your turn signals? The answer, read Delaware law below. Title 21, Chapter 41, Rules of the Road. Subchapter 6, Turning and Starting and Signals on Stopping and Turning. Section 4155, Turning Movements and Required Signals. B. A signal of intention to turn or move right or left when required shall be given continuously during not less than the last 300 feet or more than 1/2 mile traveled by the vehicle before turning. D. The signals provided for in Section 4156 of this title shall be used to indicate an intention to turn, change lanes, or start from a parked position, and shall not be flashed on one side only on a parked or disabled vehicle, or flashed as a courtesy or do-pass signal to operators of other vehicles approaching from the rear. Important: Delaware law does not require your flashing hazard lights to be activated when stopped on the shoulder of the road. The D-Team takes the position it is smart defense to activate them under this condition. Important: The D-Team takes the position it is smart defense to delay activating your turn signals until there are no intersecting roads prior to your intended turning point. Sometimes this delay may interfere with the 300 feet requirement law, but safety should always be the overriding principle. Important: When a motor vehicle with an activated turn signal is approaching your vehicle from an intersecting roadway, there is only one message that can be assumed. The turn signal is on. It does not mean it is safe to go. Bet you didn't know. Are flashing lights legal in Delaware when the vehicle is in motion? The answer, Title 21, Chapter 43, Equipment and Construction of Vehicles. Subchapter 2, Lights, Section 4353, Special Restrictions on Lamps. D. Flashing lights are prohibited except on an authorized emergency vehicle, school bus, snow removal equipment, vehicles authorized by the Secretary of Safety and Homeland Security, if determined to be in the interest of public safety, or on any vehicle as a means of indicating a right or left turn, or the presence of a vehicular hazard requiring unusual care in approaching, overtaking, or passing. Yes, turn signals are required for indicating a turn or a lane change. Yes, hazard lights are legal and required if your vehicle is traveling in a condition that is considered to be a roadway danger. Bet you didn't know. Headlights and windshield wipers. What is Delaware law? The answer, Title 21, Motor Vehicles, Operation and Equipment. Chapter 43, Equipment and Construction of Vehicles. Subchapter 2, Lights, Section 4331, When lighted lamps are required. A. Every vehicle upon a highway within this state at any time from sunset to sunrise, or during fog, smoke, rain, or when windshield wipers are in use because of weather conditions, or at any other time when, due to insufficient light or unfavorable atmospheric conditions, persons and vehicles on the highway are not clearly discernible at a distance of 1,000 feet ahead, shall display lighted lamps. B. The portion of subsection A of this section criminalizes the failure to display lighted lamps and illuminating devices when windshield wipers are in use because of weather conditions shall constitute a secondary offense in that no person shall be stopped by a police officer for that failure alone. Important: A major purpose of lighted lamps, headlights, is so that other roadway users can see you. Certainly during night driving, the vehicle headlights also serve a viewing purpose for the vehicle operator. Rain, fog, sleet, or snow are all examples of conditions when your low-beam headlights should be used to increase your visibility to others. High-beam headlights will not increase your viewing capability during these poor weather conditions and may in fact decrease it due to reflection. Use your lights. They are a major component of the gift of life. See pictures 2-14 and 2-15 below. Important: While lowering the headlight high beam requirement when approaching within 500 feet of opposite direction traffic is the law and sounds good, in reality it is far too difficult to determine. The D-Team takes the position it is smart defense to deactivate your high beams whenever the approaching vehicle is in sight. The same lowering high beam technique is true for a vehicle to your front traveling in your same direction. FYI, sun glare. It can happen to you. 1. Sun visor. Adjust for the sun, but don't move it down to a point where it will unnecessarily interfere with your line of sight down the road. 2. Sunglasses. They can help, but make sure you remove them when they no longer are necessary. 3. Windshield. Keep them as clean as practicable. A dirty windshield will intensify the glare. SOS. You can drive smart or you can drive stupid.